Welcome to Session 40 of Adventures in Aanthara. That's a lot of sessions. Quick recap of what happened last time / in the recent days. The party has been investigating the aftermath of the attack on the Lycean Consortium and the kidnapping of Eclipse's father, Hugo Fournoir. And they acquired a name after capturing a what would you call that? An accomplice? Yes. The name of Drexia Greaves, which they knew little about until having a conversation with Rylus Tyrael, the monk of the Shaded Wind, who made his way to Leah to meet with them, and gave them no less than half a dozen warnings about not mentioning that name or pursuing it publicly, but also gave them some information about who she apparently is, as well as the order that she is a part of. And then he left to pursue that thread himself, most likely, very quietly. And the party proceeded to make their way about Olea, tying up a few loose ends, determining a few bits and pieces about the path forward, and concluding with a heartfelt conversation and dinner with Eclipse's mother, before heading to sleep and waking up in the morning to find one of the party not present. What would you all like to do?
I'll sit up and look at Brightwing. Was Yasnip really green, or did I just dream that?
You see her, still looking out the window. She sees something. A little distracted.
What's that?
I'm not sure, but it looks familiar. Should we go get the others?
Mm-hmm.
And he was green, yes. And white, and now he's gray.
He could be purple now, for all we know.
It can be many colors, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Maybe at the same time, I'm not sure. I haven't asked him to try.
Well, we can find out. We'll find the others.
Okay. You eventually all wake up, make your way down. All except one. Edwin is not present.
Where is he?
Well, we were all sleeping here, right? I know he usually sleeps at the sword, but pull out the orb. 60 feet. We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, then he should be.
Should we go try the swords?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I could just message him.
Yeah, I'd do that. Just to save some time, we do gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Alright, I will cast Sending.
Okay.
Where are you, Grumpy? We're about to head out. Meet us at the stable.
The number you have dialed is no longer available.
Damn it.
I think a solid moment passes, Brian. Before eventually the response reaches you. I'll left a note. Knowing the two of us, we'll likely see each other in a back alley cleaning shit off ourselves. Someday. Stay safe.
What the?
What?
Is he okay? Faye?
I don't know. He said there's a note.
I look around on the table and stuff. Is there anything anywhere?
Is there anything in his room?
I don't think he had one.
You do not see anything in the house.
Follow me. Brightwing rushes out the door.
Okay.
And rushes to where she thought she saw something.
Okay.
We'll follow close after her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a ways towards the exit of the city. And you find familiar sword stuck in the ground, shield laid up next to it, and a note kind of nestled in where the shield rests on the sword. Fold it up.
I'll pick up the note. What
And
does
read it?
say? Yeah.
It reads, I found an impossible lead. Not something for the Twilight Heralds or the Scarlet Swords to follow. Methodology of it is too questionable for both. We'll probably catch up in a sick twist of fate. Return my belongings to the sheath. I'll come back for them later, but I can't be identified with them.
I'm gonna hand it to Faye. I'm gonna pick up his stuff.
Okay.
It's funny. I asked him yesterday if he'd be okay leaving something like this behind. I guess I got my answer.
He left without saying goodbye.
Seems to be a habit with us.
I think for Edwin, this is his goodbye. He could have
Seems
left
like a
with nothing
steal.
at all.
But yeah. Alright, so when he comes back, because when he comes back, and I'm gonna look at Faye, you are gonna punch him as hard as you can, you hear me? And I'm gonna hug her. Because I know what this feels like.
Hmm.
You don't, you don't really ever have friends in my line of work. More just people that you like or that you can tolerate. But you all are my friends. He left his sword and his shield. How is he going to defend himself?
I'm sure he'll have Lucy. And he's an
He at
idiot,
least-
but he'll figure it out.
He at least has a hand axe still.
Man, I fucking hope so.
The wilds will look after him. I know they will.
Wait, does he still have the necklace you guys were supposed to share?
Yep.
Man, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Imagine somebody walking off with really good equipment. That's crazy. Anyway. For the second time.
Yes, it would
Wild.
be very nice to have extra power to radiant magic.
Yeah, that's crazy. Who would do something like that? It's definitely not tucked away in these 2 pieces of equipment I have.
Sorry, a hand axe and an amulet.
Yeah.
Eclipse.
Yes.
Faye knows about me,
Oh.
and with that, Mhm.
Go ahead.
I feel necessary to share a little bit of how I think. I don't know what impossible lead means, where he's going, what it's for. Are we worried he has information? He knows the name. He knows we're involved. He knows us. He knows what happened to Faye. He knows the information of the Blightlings. He knows about the symbols. Everything.
Are you implying that he's just betrayed us?
I'm being open-minded.
Realistic.
No,
I don't.
he didn't.
If he was gonna rat us out, he'd have done it at the swords by now.
I'm not worried about ratting out. I'm worried about what could happen with that information.
You know him. He charges blindly into everything.
And he spills everything at the moment that a person of authority asks him. I understand there's one thing with not being trusted or not sharing the entire truth at the beginning, believe me. But there's also protection in withholding some key points of information.
I looked at Yasnet. I, as you know, read people very well. And Edwin is how you say open book. With his bluntness to speak. Hidden chapters, yes, but I don't think he betrayed.
If he did, he knows I'd hunt him down.
Then we all get to punch him.
I don't think I did very much damage if I punched.
That doesn't matter, it's the act.
It hurts in here.
Yes. As it should. If something like that fucking happened.
He's closed off, but he has good heart. I've always known that about him.
I think, and I'm gonna look around just to be sure. I think it might have something to do with the swords themselves. And if it does, he needs to find that answer on his own.
I wondered that as well. He seemed highly suspicious, but he voiced his suspicion to Indani and the other guy.
Doc,
I'm
right?
well, Doc, right? Yeah, but that's 3 then, because there were 2 with us in the room, and then the guy in the mirror. So I'm concerned that he has made his suspicion. If this is indeed what he is following, it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah. Like I
I'm
said,
afraid for him.
then that's as annoying as it is right now. That's his life. He doesn't have to come with us. He doesn't have to help us. It's gonna make it a lot more difficult, but besides me, he is the easiest person to identify. So, at least in terms of, involvement, status, looking like a cop.
Well, we
Think
can do
he's
what we
going to
can
join
about
the
that.
Ivory Guard next?
I doubt it. They wouldn't let him do anything on his own.
I'm here for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll reach around Brightwing and Eclipse and kind of like
Go
do
hug.
the yes thing and like get you like
Yeah.
heads together and like group hug
Yeah.
and.
You are very tall.
It's that kid coming into the football
In the
huddle.
middle, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should take his stuff back. Just keep the note, I guess. If you want to, or you can burn it, throw it, whatever you want to do with it. It's cathartic.
We don't have to return his stuff. I could use it after all.
You're gonna run. The sword is notable.
That's fine.
The sword is because
Wait.
me.
You
Can
could
you look like him? Holy
That's
shit.
powerful.
Okay. I think this is a very good idea.
This is viable.
Okay, never mind. We're keeping these.
Yeah, a bag of holding. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's in.
I was like,
Okay.
yeah, we'll give
Is
it back.
this-
Nope.
Nope.
Is it wrong to impersonate friends, though?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I'd
It
imitate
is
life,
if you're
Brightwing.
doing it to hurt someone's name specifically. But this is a tactical advantage.
Grumpy
Also,
sweat.
it could help if he's involved in something, and
Oh,
we could possibly spread alibis.
yeah.
But if he is going
Mm.
on lead and we turn up somewhere else and he's somewhere else and someone knows that, does that put him in danger?
Well, if he ends up going like undercover or something, it might actually be better for him because then they'll just assume.
We
I
could
like
make him
options.
seen with us,
Yeah.
and that would provide an alibi.
Yeah. But it's not like
Or
we're gonna go into
I
a
get
bar.
jumped
and
in the
just-
street because he's into some deep shit. I don't know, but we could find a way.
We're not gonna use it willy-nilly, that's for sure. We'll have a genuine reason for it.
If it comes to it.
Or at the very least, we run into him, we'll throw these at him and he can deal with it. Although
Alright.
if we do see him, probably let him know we see him first. Don't blow his cover. Especially if it's something that important.
He's not sneaky, trust me.
Oh, I know.
Or subtle.
I wasn't either.
He thinks he's good at hiding.
Not.
That's
I
what
don't
I
know.
meant. doesn't like to show emotion. I got that.
Oh. Yeah, emotionally hidden is one thing.
Yes.
Actually hiding? No, we both knew that was not the case.
Mm-mm. Not at all. Unless there's lots of large rocks.
True.
So
We're keeping his things
we just go.
to the stables. We were supposed to get horses. Although I still don't know how I feel about doing that, but it is for the sake of speed, so.
Yeah, I think, given Yazip's history with horses, it might be best if, he attempts to ride one of, either Melody or Rhapsody, and if we have to acquire a third from,
Yeah.
Kovac. Brightwing, maybe you take that one.
Yeah. I think that'll be fine.
Okay.
The other thing I think we should do is have them tell them where the horses are and come get them. Because I don't know how long we're actually going to use them in the mountains. And I'd rather them be returned than sit there for days or weeks on end.
You mean if we go on foot at some point?
Yeah. Like if we have to
Okay.
go into a cave or into a mountain, I'd prefer them not come with us for their own safety.
Brightwing could talk to them and tell them to go home.
That is correct. Which, if Crater is going with us, which he is, he would know how to get home. So I think that's the option. Cool.
All right.
Okay, you guys pack Edwin's gear into the bag of holding
Yes.
and head towards stables.
Who has the bag? So we can actually make sure that that's... Okay.
It's in there. It's in there as
Good,
Grumpy
good,
Sword
good,
and Grumpy
good.
Shield.
Good. Alright.
You sure didn't go?
Yes!
Ah!
Alright.
Okay.
Can we get some apples on the way?
I think.
This is like the
Yes,
third
the
apple
last ones
buying
were for
trip
the
we've been
meme.
on.
Yes.
Oh my
There will
God.
probably be some there.
That person's gonna be like stocking them back on the shelf as the last one, be like, man, and just dump them back into a bucket and hand them over. They're not even mad because the money, they're mad because they wasted the time even doing it.
Okay. You guys head that direction. And we will briefly say goodbye to Sean.
You son of a bitch.
I'm here to cause emotional damage.
It's the second time, you fuck.
Yeah, no, I know, but at least last time I had this, and now I don't have this.
Emotional
Yeah.
damage to yourself.
Yeah. It's not forever.
It
I'll
will.
be back once the time is right,
Ah,
and once we've.
You said I'll be
figured
back.
that out. I was like, I should have known that was an arbitrary Arnold Schwarzenegger sound. Yeah.
get to the mountains. Ah!
Get down.
All right. Yeah. No, that's it. Never mind. I'm never coming back. Fuck this.
You
Well,
brought
we got
this
your stuff
upon
back.
yourself.
All right. So
No, but in all seriousness.
yeah, it'll be cool to see how things unfold from the other side of things. Just what I'm very excited, and I'm very excited to maybe, if you guys ever find him again, re-interface with the group. But we'll see how that turns out. So, all right, gang, stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I
Goodbye.
wouldn't do.
I'm gonna do
Every
everything
day.
you do. What do you
I'm
mean?
gonna do all the things.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. As you guys make your way to the stables, quick question. Have you done anything more with the magic items from yesterday? Specifically, has someone attuned to the orb? Has someone attuned to or identified the book or one of the other potions you didn't identify yesterday? If I'm not
No, we
mistaken.
woke up and we
Yeah, we have
chasing our
Do the-
parent
we-
stepbrother.
You can
Yeah,
do the
the
the orb
monocle
is
thing.
attuned to.
Orb is attuned.
Okay,
Things haven't
and that's
been
on
I have-
Faye.
identified yet.
I have the orb attuned.
Okay.
I would identify the book first.
Okay, you want to identify the book. Now, basically?
I mean, it's one of those things that we're like, as we're
Okay.
taking count
Waiting
of
for
stuff.
the horses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You do arrive at stables that are attached to the Ivory Guard keep, which is where you were directed to because they're going to be ivory guard horses that you're given to pick up. And yours have been brought there, we'll say, after discussion. So when you arrive, they have 5 horses ready for you.
Rip.
Loading up packs and feed bags and stuff like that, you can attune to the book. And it is called an Arc Light Primer. ARC Light, one word.
I was just going to use the lens.
Arc
Uh,
primer?
I will read it to you since you are identifying it. It is a magic textbook created at the Arathis Academy of the Arcane. The primer has 3 charges and it regains 1d4 expended charges daily at dawn. If you make an Arcana or Investigation check while holding the primer, you can expend 1 charge to give yourself 1d4 bonus to the check immediately after you roll the d20. In addition, if you study the primer at the end of a long rest, you can choose 1 first-level spell from the Wizard or Sorcerer spell lists. Before you finish your next long rest, you can cast the chosen spell once without a spell slot if you are holding the primer. Your spellcasting ability for this spell is your choice of Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma.
What?
Oh boy.
Oh, I would very much like to have this, but
Is it you have to tune to it, I'm assuming?
Yes, you have to attune to it.
Okay. I have 2 items attuned already.
I'm full.
You're full?
Look over at Yasna.
I mean, I do like
Oh, back
books.
at Right Wing. Drop it in the middle and back up.
I flinch because I don't know what the hell it's gonna do.
What do... You're welcome to it, yes, Nip. I have this, and then I have knife, so... If you would like it.
I could maybe fiddle with it for a while. Could come in handy.
Could be fun. You could trade. We know how well that goes.
Yes. I'd actually, offer to get them.
I don't really need it.
I don't use primers.
It's I don't know. It feels like it's more suited to you.
I don't know how much use I would be able to make of the innate magical properties, but
Well,
could
my
help me to have a better discerning eye, maybe.
yes, that is what I was trying. I am not very good in those sort of aspects.
You just
so I...
pick a spell. You just pick one, and you can cast it at some point in the next day.
Any spell?
Yeah, it's
Or
just free.
it's the same spell.
Oh, one that someone like Remy would know. Or like for someone from the university, probably. Not necessarily. I mean, my magic overlaps with that quite a bit, though.
My magic doesn't.
Mm-mm.
But as I said, it's I feel Yasnip would be able to have more advantageous uses for it than I.
Well, hang on to it.
Yasnip, are you okay?
I'm fine. No, this is Brian, not Yasnip.
I mean, okay.
Who's taking it?
Yeah, you take it. My investigation skills are not going to get better just because of a D4. So,
Okay.
you take it.
All right. Yeah,
Mine's already pretty good. I don't need the help.
Primer. I will say you can attune to it in the span of getting out of the city when you do that.
Question, DM.
Yes.
With my thing, a short rest, if nature being down to 30 minutes, does that change how much time to attune to something?
No.
Okay, I didn't think it would.
No.
Okay.
It's more that you can funnel the restorative magic of the
Okay.
natural world more efficiently.
Cool.
Okay, you guys are given the horses. In fact, once they're brought, very shortly after, as you guys are finishing packing up and tightening straps, and Inspector Kovac shows up. You're one short, but looks like you're getting ready to head out.
Yeah, looks like we'll only need one horse.
Oh? Something of concern?
He'll catch up.
All right. You only need one more.
Yeah, our 3+1.
All right.
That being said, we
And-
are going to send them back if we run into a place. Mine knows how to get here. So,
I can
Make
tell
sure
them
they're
to come back.
returned. yeah.
She looks at you with something between total befuddlement and like, well, actually, that kind of checks out. All right, understood.
Speaking of which, and I'll start to ritually cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Valley
Oh, gosh.
I knew this was coming.
Did I?
You have no excuse at this point, Matt.
No
I'm sorry.
excuse.
No excuse.
Okay.
If there is a creature, you must be prepared. It is the law.
They were Valley Girls, that's right. Okay, you ritually cast Speak with Animals while Inspector Kovac finishes talking with you. Are you planning to head out now then?
Yes.
Or soon?
I think
While the
it'd be
day's young?
nice.
If you do follow the trail that the guards found, and it leads somewhere substantial, will you let me know?
Yes.
As I've mentioned, it's not our purview to go hunting, but I'd like to know a lead is being followed at the very least. Good
Yeah.
luck out there.
Thanks.
you.
Did
Thank
you happen
you.
to get anything from Cyrus?
Anything on the stone?
Yes.
No, not yet, but I think close. We should have somebody who can reach out to you with our contacts at the academy if we learn something.
Good luck with that as well.
It's odd. It was difficult to break things from him in our initial conversation because he was so defiant. Now it's difficult to get anything out of him. He's so broken. But we'll keep
Whoops.
working. She nods, turns heel, and heads back in. You guys have your 3 horses and 1 more, and Brightwing, your Speak with Animals finishes.
I don't know. I guess I'll start with Crater. Not Pat, Crater.
Oh, it's been a while. You guys have been gone.
I know. But we are going to go on an adventure with Melody and Rhapsody and our new friend. I'm sorry. What's your name?
I'm giving Crater a hug.
I don't have a name. I don't believe.
Would
You see a chestnut, very formally stanced almost. Like you can tell it is a guard trained horse who stands in formation a lot.
We could call him Edwin.
That's awful. We cannot do this. Oh my
Would you
God.
like name?
I don't know. Is that common? I don't know if I've spoken with anyone before.
I apologize. This is probably very new, but I like to make sure you're okay.
I believe so.
All right. I'm Brightwing. This is Faye and Yasnip and Eclipse.
All right. And I'm to be comrades with these ones.
Mm-hmm. And Melody Rhapsody.
He looks over to see Crater trying to bite at his own mane, which is...
And Crater.
and Melody and Rhapsody, who are doing the equivalent of two girls in high school talking over on the side and gossiping with each other while watching this newcomer, which is probably exactly what they're doing. Understood. From what I've
Alright.
seen, they may need a bit of discipline, but I will do my best.
Maximus would
Sure,
say
if-
words. Oh, no.
Is there anyone in particular you wish for us to mount? Or would you like to pick?
He
Eclipse
looks
will be riding
utterly
Crater.
lost by this choice given to him. It's never a choice been given him before in his life, and he's already confused enough by the conversation that he's having for the first time ever. And he just stares at you blankly and hoarsely.
Crater will be riding with Eclipse.
I'll hop on Crater.
He starts doing a little happy prance.
Yeah.
circle.
To go in a circle.
And unnamed horse gives him a side eye, like, good gracious, man.
Have some self-control.
Yep.
I can be your rider if you wish.
I will bear you proudly.
Well, there you go. Sure.
Thank you. I'll ride with. He doesn't have name.
He doesn't have a name.
No, he does not have name.
Melody, Rhapsody, Crater. Forte?
Forte?
Forte. I mean, we're going with the music theme.
Oh.
Hmm.
Would you like Forte to be your name?
I don't know what it means, but certainly that seems amenable.
Means strong, right? For
It's a
music.
big word for me.
Loud?
It's
Loud.
not
Thanks.
his
Forte?
fault.
Forte.
Ah, there it is. All right. Yep.
It's like
That's it.
strong, right?
It
Leah?
means yeah.
Like
it's,
intense
It's
or
loud,
something.
intense.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's
Give
perfect.
you the actual.
Okay, perfect.
Let me look at my hold
Quick
on one
music
second.
theory side lesson
Yes, 1 second.
from Leah Pritchett.
Because the bard
And the
doesn't know
intro music.
anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just
Forte
intense because there's meant
in
to
music,
forte.
the dynamic is a dynamic signal that means loud.
Okay.
It's emphasized. It means something gets more prominent. So yeah.
And well, I mean, there's the one forte, and then you have multiple fortes. Fortissimo, you could do fortissimo, and that's
Well, there
very
you go.
loud.
And
That's a lot
Italian,
of
it means
syllables.
strong. We doing it.
Forte.
This has been Music Theory with Leah Pritchett.
hmm
Tune in next time where we talk about piano. Anyway.
That's our
Okay.
next one. The next
Mm.
quiet
You
horse
have-
we meet is gonna be named Piano.
Forte acquired. Please hold while I
Melody,
Make a
Rhapsody,
note.
Forte, and piano.
You could do Primissimo, which is very.
Yeah. This is what I want.
The next
I'm
one
gonna
could be
keep naming
Harmony.
them something stupid till you guys stop me.
That was perfect. Okay.
Yay! Right.
I'll flip you for it. I don't have a preference. Do you want to see if either of them hate you less?
Wait, one can hate me less?
You can certainly try.
I'm still prancing.
You can certainly try.
I'll go up to Melody and Rhapsody. To be so kind as to just can't give Yasmin a break today. We are trying to go as fast as we can.
Fine. As long as we get moving, we've been stuck here for so long.
I forgot how catty they are.
Perfect.
We will be leaving very, very shortly.
Holy shit.
Wait, which one again is Yasnip?
It's that one.
All right, just make sure he doesn't stab us with that thing.
I'm sorry, with what thing?
That big stick with the blades on it that he has sometimes. It looks
Oh,
scary.
I assure you he would not use it on you. And he only
Okay.
summons it. He doesn't have it out all the time.
All right. Are we going?
Yes, we're going right now.
I hate you all.
I don't care which horse I am.
Why did I do this to myself?
I don't
I
know.
will
man.
get on. I will get on a horse.
I don't think anyone
I'll get on the
realized
other
how
horse.
much speak with animals would be used ever, but
Nope. Okay.
Would we say I could have thumbed through this book for at least a few minutes before this point, or no? I say so because spell components.
whew,
Um,
what the hell are you
Components?
casting?
Yeah, between the
Oh.
time it took to get here and then the time to get the horse to set up the conversation with Inspector Kovac, you're pretty much there, I'll say.
On the way out, could I buy like 30 gold worth of materials?
You probably could. What are you looking for?
Charcoal, incense, and herbs.
I have herbs.
Oh boy. Yes,
I feel
you
like
could
those are
do
very
that.
Basic things that are very easy to find.
Are you doing
Yes,
fine
you
for
could
General
very
store.
easily do that.
Hell yeah, I'm doing. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but what?
We're gonna
What?
get familiar, y'all. More pets! We need pets.
Lose one pet, gain another.
Yay!
What are we gonna do with all this jerky?
Eat it.
Give it to
Oh.
Clote next time we find him.
Facts.
I wonder how Clote's doing.
I could message him.
Let's not.
Nope. We need those spells. Anyways.
I'll do it
Okay.
tonight.
Yeah. If you want to do that later, we got the
Okay.
leftovers. It's a good plan. It's a very good plan.
Yeah, he's leftover. He's leftover spell quality.
Oh, leftover spells?
Yes. Anyways,
Definitely not. Okay. Are you guys doing anything else in the city?
No.
Okay. Brian, you can, or Yasnip, or whatever your name is currently. You can
all
acquire
lies.
easily 30 gold worth of those components.
Is your name even Brian?
Have you seen my license?
No!
And once you reach the edge of the city, to the eastern gate, which is, or the northeastern gate, which was the one that the report had been given from, there are a pair of guards on horseback waiting for you. One of them looks to be a blonde female elf. You're the Twilight Heralds, yes?
Yep.
I'm to show you the trail we found.
Let's go.
Starts riding out of the city. You all ride behind and leave the gate and the city of Olea. Travel up the road a good, probably about half hour to 45 minutes.
I'll say
Before-
Brightwing, even
Yes?
though all this tragedy has happened, Brightwing's like, finally we're in nature again. Oh, God.
Faye's just
Um,
thinking of how long it's gonna take for her to like get another bath.
Very true.
I mean, also,
Um,
to be fair, we have the bag, so...
Just one limited.
We'll be so freaking
Also
Better
true.
than nothing! We'll make it work.
It's fine.
The first 30 or 20 to 30 minutes are actually pretty busy on the road. There's a good number of carts coming both directions, but after 30 to 45 minutes, eventually the two guards pull off, and the one who spoke to you earlier jumps down, points to like a bit of river that is parallel to the road, and the grass. There's grassy plains basically as far as the eyes can see, except the direction of Olea and the distant mountains to the east, southeast. And they point over to the river. Just across that, we picked up a trail headed towards the mountains.
Great. Well, hopefully that's what we're looking for.
Here goes everything.
Yeah.
Travel safe. Mounts back up. The two of them turn back towards the city.
So, Edwin was the tracker. How do we do this?
I mean,
I
I
could
kind
try.
of got this.
We could try.
Could be a mutual effort of trying.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, the thing we're looking for is not very natural. So, you know, there's that going for us.
Hmm.
Actually, would this be survival tracking?
To pick up tracks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Brightwing can do it.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's fine.
Let me go for it.
Yeah.
I will,
My mother was quite the tracker. She taught me a thing or two.
yeah.
Alright. And
I will, as we set out, sing you a little bit of inspiration.
it's inspiration.
Let's sing, we'll carry on, we'll carry on. And though all hope is gone, believe me, the Twilight Heralds carry on. Just kind of like carry that along.
Hmm.
Is that a D8?
Yeah.
It's D8. Okay. And Matthew, I would like to shift as well.
Okay.
And I'll get advantage.
Okay, and that lasts a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Yikers!
No!
7 plus 8. 15.
And did you use your inspiration, or you're not going to use
I
it?
did use my inspiration.
Okay. 15?
I rolled a 2 and a 6 and a 1 on the inspiration.
Wow. God is so bad.
That was
Okay, fortunately,
really
that's a
bad.
big bonus, and adding up to 15 is enough. You make your way down to this river and do see some swaths of the grass broken on the way there, and then cross, and it takes a moment to re-pick it up. But you do pick up the path of what seems to be 3 horses headed roughly southeast towards the looming Karthcrest range ahead of you.
With haste then?
Yeah.
We're still trying to
Do
get
you have
where
something else,
we
Brightwing?
actually are.
I technically, yeah, but it only predicts stuff 30 minutes in advance, so it wouldn't really help at the moment. So I will just keep going.
Okay. You guys begin traveling, and it takes a few hours into early afternoon or around noon to get to the base of the mountains, where the foothills start. And they are now looming above you, sun directly above them. I'll have you roll another survival check.
Okay.
You are not shifted,
I'm
but
not shifted.
succeeding on the previous one and knowing the trail you're looking for does lower the DC a little bit.
Okay. Can I guide myself?
Mm-hmm.
I'll guide myself.
I can inspire you again.
You can, if you want to, you can save it as well.
I'll inspire you by telling a joke.
Please do.
Okay. Why didn't the watermelon and the cantaloupe have a wedding? Oh no, I already spoiled the punchline. Fuck.
Wait, that is exactly what happened. 100% in character.
That is exactly what happened. Yes.
That was amazing.
That is exactly how it needs to be.
Oh my
Negative
god.
inspiration. That's psychic damage.
I mean, I thought that was funny. Brightwing, it's up to you whether you get inspired and find that funny.
That was very, very funny.
I don't think Brightwing would understand
No,
where that was headed.
Nope.
I think she's just like,
The
okay, it's
punchline's already
funny.
there.
She's just,
Just agreeing with you.
doesn't
She's
really-
inspired because you believe it.
yeah. Oh, that's cat.
Cacked.
Oh my, so much
Jesus.
better. Natural 19.
Matt, for my own
Still-
reference of where the hell we are, can you ping on the map
Mhm.
where we are right
Green.
I can ping on the map. You are about right here.
Okay, fantastic. I
The
was
top of
like,
that tree.
Where are
Well, about to be at the base of that tree.
Where are you?
Mm.
So sorry.
That's what Aodin's
34.
response is.
What?
34?
I got a natural 19
Let's fucking
plus
go.
plus a 7 plus a 3 plus my 8 modifier.
Jeez.
Alright, well,
Okay.
You were like one shy of max all the way down.
Yeah.
Okay. As the plains become foothills, it does become a little bit more difficult because the swath of broken grass is no longer there. But that does not matter at all for Brightwing, who is honed in, channeling her mother, and on the trail of these vagabonds. And you make your way, yes, to the base of where the foothills begin. Eclipse, what's your passive perception?
17.
Brightwing, yours is 19. Okay. Both of you, after a few minutes of kind of crossing out of these grassy plains and into the beginning of these foothills, you catch a smell on the wind that is unpleasant and a little bit dead, and the horses all seem to get nervous.
Can I tell which direction it's coming from?
Ahead of you, the way you've been traversing.
Yes, Nip.
Yes.
Do you think you could send your things to go ahead for a bit?
Yeah. Just need a bit to.
There, you might want to look for circling hawks or vultures. There's something dead on the wind.
Can have them fly higher. I will cast Flock of Familiars.
Okay.
Please have that be
And-
the voice of one of your altars.
And
Well, I saw something over there. That was awful.
Say something.
Anyways, go.
yeah, let's just go with owls. Actually, no.
Okay.
Let's do hawks. Yeah, we're gonna do hawks.
Okay. And you send
Oops,
them
all-
forward? Flying.
In the direction that Brightwing identified. Yes. 4 of them.
Okay. Okay. They fan out a bit, begin flying forward, and start curbing through these foothills a little bit. And it does not take long, less than a minute, before you see in this bit of crevice right before a pass begins to open, 3 carcasses, large, seem to be horses, and a flock of carrion birds of some kind.
They killed their horses.
3 horses. Appear they've been long deceased. Or at least... Are they bone, or is it just
No.
dead horses? Okay.
They look maybe a couple days dead from where you're at. Not a
Okay,
week.
okay.
Perhaps we should leave horses here.
Hmm.
Can you send them back? Looks like we're on foot
Yeah.
from here.
Well, maybe confirm that they didn't
I
get
could,
into like a cart or something.
I could
Have someone
send
pick them up.
a couple of the hawks down, see if they could get a closer look.
Yeah.
If we can tell how the horses died from afar, it might be good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I would be able to do that very easily if I do it myself, but caution is wise as well.
I'll send 2 in close to the horses, see if I can discern through them how they died.
Okay. With your eyes?
Yeah, I'll look into them.
Okay. I'll say roll a medicine check.
Great at those.
And I'll say anyone who does not want to hear about how animals died should probably not listen for the next minute.
12.
12. It takes a minute of your hawks hopping between, but it's not too difficult to see on 2 of them in particular. Massive gashes in the throat on 2 of them, and the third seems to have had its neck just broken. And it is not a small horse. It would have taken a lot of strength, and you can tell that.
It was intentional.
Does it
Doesn't
look
look
like
like
they were?
anything logic got them.
Does it look like they were in a fight, or it looks like they were slaughtered?
Looks like they were slaughtered.
They didn't want to be
Should-
found.
Well, let's get up the. I hesitate to send our horses back quite yet, because if they're on foot, that would help us. But we should not let our horses see this. It will freak them out.
Mhm.
Brightwing?
DM, this might be a little bit convoluted question.
Okay.
I have speak with dead, and also speak with animals.
Oh my gosh.
And they're
Oh,
both
yes.
concentration.
Oh,
Yeah,
are
you
they?
Oh,
Are they
they're
both
both
concentration?
Are they both
Yeah.
concentration?
Is Speak
Yeah.
with Animals concentration?
It's
They're probably both are or both aren't.
It's a ritual, but
It is not concentration.
I think we can reasonably assume what happened, though, especially if they
Speak
didn't
with
want to
Dead
be
is
also
tracked.
not.
This is the most effective way to not be tracked.
That
Yeah.
is the big question of if they got off because it's time for them to go walking, or if they wanted to disappear.
I think, though,
Oh,
I mean, they're big
gosh.
metal people. Like when we saw Magnox and Brill's footprints up where Freckle and Blue were abducted, their footsteps were recognizable. So I would think, and what do I know? But like, they would be easier to track as big metal footprints in the mud, as opposed to horses. Horses could be anyone.
Unless they got the magical ability to not be tracked.
Can I look for footprints through the hawks? See if I can tell which way they went?
Sure, roll a survival check.
10. Luckstone coming in clutch.
Hard to tell. The area is largely matted and messed with both the corpses of these horses and the many birds who have gathered around.
Can't really make out if they went any direction, but maybe if Right Wing was able to get closer to be able to see, we might be able to find some tracks.
Do you think it's an ambush?
That's what I'm worried of. But it's been a few days. I don't think they'd
Yeah.
wait that long.
No, you're right. They need to keep moving. They've only got a week with the circlet on Hugo.
If I shift, my instincts, no one can surprise me if someone were to try. So it might be safer for me just to go and see, and if it does happen, you can jump in.
I have a concern.
What?
These people obviously have powerful friends. Perhaps this was just their way of getting out of the city, and they had someone pick them up. They could be anywhere.
Well, I can also detect magic to see if there is any residue.
We could try.
It's not a bad idea.
Let's get closer. We'll leave the horses a ways off and we'll take a look.
Okay. There are enough trees around here that you can find a couple trees to tie the horses to, though they do not seem stoked about it. And you want to go up and inspect? Everybody?
I'll keep the hawks flying circles a wide berth around the area.
Okay.
And just letting them know to let me know if there's somebody else in the area.
Okay. Are you attempting to be stealthy at all, or are you just
Yes.
heading in to look? Okay, roll a stealth check as a group.
23.
Is this the
7.
first stealth roll for Eclipse without disadvantage?
8.
Oh, hey.
I'm
At least it's just a normal roll.
I'm a walking art piece. So
Hey, I
Okay.
made you a poncho.
am I wearing it?
Did
Are you
told
wearing
me!
it?
Better be.
It's brown. It could
Okay.
be green if you want, but it's brown.
You guys make your way forward, some of you not as quietly as others, and eventually get to this kind of ringed in area of stone that begins to open up into a pass that looks like it heads into the mountains from these foothills. And you see a couple dozen carrion birds on these 3 corpses.
I'll go up. But try to be as not trying to scare them off. Why the hell not? I'll cast Speak with Animals. They might have seen something.
On the birds?
Yeah.
Or just in general, but you're going to speak to the birds? Okay.
Yeah. I'll use a
Okay.
spell slot for that.
Right Wing's been out of the wilds for a long time, guys.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, can I help you?
Feels very-
Maybe. How long have these horses been dead?
I don't know. We've been here for I don't know, couple hours, guys? Couple hours, yeah. But I don't know how long they've been here. I don't think we're the first ones here, I'll say that much.
Do you know anybody that was here first?
Anybody know somebody from before? My cousin! Where is he? I don't know! Sorry, we don't know. Looks like it's been a few days, though.
It does. Did you see anyone with these horses or traveling through the woods before?
Can't say that I did.
Well, thank you. Anyways, continue on with the circle of life.
It is, and has been between sentences.
It's the circle of life, y'all. It's what happens.
I don't
Okay.
fucking care. I don't want to deal with it right now.
Not the murder of horses, but this part. Uh,
Are there tracks?
yeah, I'll look.
Like- I will help.
Brightwing, okay. Brightwing, make a check with advantage. Survival.
Can I check to see if there was anything left? Like, if there's packs, could I look in the packs on the horses? Anything that might have been left over?
There, two of the horses don't seem to have much of anything in the way of gear on them. One has a veritable pile of what look like goods, trade goods, small sacks, packs. Roll an investigation check.
You get to add a D4.
That's what I'm double checking. So I can expend one to give a bonus immediately after I roll it. So before I
Yeah,
roll
you
it,
don't have to use it.
definitely using it.
Brightwing, what'd you roll?
29.
Goodness
I'm going back and
gracious.
forth, Matthew. I'm rolling bad, then
Uh-huh.
rolling good, rolling bad, rolling good.
Okay.
That's just what this session is.
And Brian, what did you roll?
15.
15. Okay. Starting with you, because Brightwing will be taking a little longer. You very quickly find on inspecting this, after you shoo a couple of the birds away, they're all empty. Nothing is here. It looks like this was a ruse setup for appearances, or they took everything out of it, but that would be a lot to carry, because it almost looks like a pack mule. It's got so much stuff.
Is it enough stuff to make it look like a body?
Very possibly, if it was laid in the right way amidst it. Brightwing, you initially, on inspecting the area, find 2 pairs of footprints. Both give you the distinct impression, no pun intended, of the Soulforged that you had seen the print of with Magnox back in Sawfeld. That archless, particularly perfectly round shape. One much larger than the other. A good probably nearly 2 feet long. The other one large, but more like a large typical humanoid. And you find them quickly and easily because the prints are left in blood. And they're moving around, and then they start heading in direction, and then there's a point where there's a small tuft of grass, and then after that they disappear. The blood disappears. But you hone in, inspect further, and nearly nose to the ground, Aragorn style, over a period of probably 10 or 15 minutes, you are able to pick up, through small shifts in dust and dirt, broken plants, what seems to be a trail heading up into this pass.
They went up the mountain.
Does it look like horses would make it that up, or be able to go up the mountain easily?
From what you can see right now, it's a generally open pass. You're not even really in the mountains yet. It's like foothills basically opening into or up towards the mountains. And it looks like a relatively smooth-ish path upwards, not carved by any means, but not like bouldering through rocks. So as far as you can see for right now, it looks like horses could walk it, but you don't see much of it before it turns around a corner and then likely another corner as it moves.
Eclipse, I believe that is your call.
Do I know if these mountains are prone to avalanches?
Roll a history check. And Brian, I'm going to roll a history check, or maybe Megan, with you while we do this. Do you know if particular times of the year are actually more prone to avalanche?
Spring, usually, right?
That's what I would have figured.
The
Yeah.
thaw.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking 7.
7.
I don't.
Not too sure. I will
Are these-
say, as you came in, you did see some snow peaked. The taller peaks are
Okay.
still snow capped. It's
Oh.
late spring.
January, February.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
January and February have the worst avalanches.
Yeah.
It says December to April, but January.
Yeah.
That's
You're
how
at the tail end of spring right now.
I think we would be better suited to go on foot from here, even if it would be quicker with horses, but
They really don't need to be a part of this. As much as I want to take Critter with me, I'm not willing to put him in harm's way like this.
I will go send them back on their way.
We're not that far. It shouldn't be that much of a problem.
We
I thought
could
the ritual. Oh,
put some
sorry.
coin into a pouch with a note.
Yeah.
Keep them boarded.
Yeah, I can do that.
While she's doing that, I'll ritually cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Do I remember about how much it would cost for a reasonable amount? Like however
Well, don't
long we've had
you-
them
is
boarded
it-
before?
But you have a stable there for Crater, don't you?
Yeah,
Because
but
it's your home.
There
this is
are
for the
stables
others.
at the consortium.
Yeah.
As far as you know, the Ivory Guard horses could go back to the Ivory Guard,
Okay.
and
Then-
Melody and Rhapsody could be kept with Crater at the consortium.
Okay. Then this is mostly just for, I guess, for my mom to get the food for them. So I'll leave like 20 silver in it because I can't remember if apples really cost that much or feed in general.
You'd have to be gone for a pretty long time for all that to be used up, but in fairness, you don't know how long you'll be gone.
Exactly. I have no idea. So I'd rather not be inconvenienced. Okay.
Alright.
So
I'll go up to the horses.
Okay.
We are going to go the rest of the way on foot. Thank you very much. But Crater and I'm sure Forte can show you back.
We're coming back already?
I'm very sorry, Melody. It's quite dangerous up the mountain.
I hate being cooped up there. How long are you gonna be gone?
I wish I knew. Let me add a note, and I'll add a note says, please take horses out for rides.
Okay.
let you add that to the note as I'm writing in a very official note. Please board Melody and Rhapsody with Crater at the consortium. Attached is payment for their feed should we be gone. The Ivory Guard may have their horse back.
Okay. Partway through writing that note, you have to restart as Crater has walked over and pulls it out of your hand, munches on it for a second.
But turning around.
He's butting his head against
I'm
your
gonna
back.
bump him, bro. Like I got. Dad's in trouble. Okay, we have to do this, and I'm not gonna lose you too.
You hear Brightwing. You hear, all right, Mom, but be safe. Don't get lost.
I'm gonna.
Poor Crater gets left everywhere.
I'm gonna keep scribbling it, and I'm gonna roll it up. I'm gonna tuck it into the bag. I'm gonna tie the bag to the side, and I'm gonna give him a very big hug.
Okay.
I'll be back, buddy. Don't worry. This is just, it's safer this way.
Okay.
I'll turn to Melody Rhapsody. You can run as fast as you can back.
All right. I guess that's our best chance to stretch our legs.
The fact that these horses want to work with this, like, the voice and the work ethic are not cohesive.
Listen, they don't necessarily want to work. They just want to run about.
Yeah. It just
They wanna
happens to go
play.
inside.
Yeah.
I want to run with the
After
hair of the
watching
wind.
all of the nonsense with these three, Forte looks at you. I will ensure they all get back safely.
Thank God.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you will.
Or at least I'll do my best.
I would keep an eye on those two. I think they would maybe take a few laps before they go back in.
It will literally only be one eye because I'm a horse. I can only look from one side.
That
But-
is true. Is true. Yes, yes.
All right.
Horse's vision overlaps.
Thank you.
But not
He don't
for
know.
like for not the first 5 feet.
Really?
They can't see like right in front of their nose.
Yeah.
But like their eyes, like their vision crosses at some point in front of them.
Got music facts. You got horse facts today.
Yeah,
folks.
we're learning
Look at you.
everything. Avalanche facts.
Educational episode. Emotional damage, but hey, you learned something new.
It's just like school.
Mm. Okay. You guys send the horses off?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. They go near trotting off into the distance.
The trail leads this way. If
Does
we
you want
leave
to sit
now,
on it for magic?
I mean, I could, but it doesn't seem there is any residual magic teleportation-wise, as Faye was insinuating. But I could still do it if you'd like me to.
I just want to
think
be
go for
moving.
it. That's fine.
I don't know. I just
Whenever
like,
I can do it ritually, so whenever you want, we can take 10 minutes.
Losing so much time.
I know,
That's
that is
valuable.
the problem. Alright. The trail leads this way.
Okay.
I'll
guys head
send
inwards?
the hawks as far ahead as they can go. I probably have maybe only like 20 to 30 minutes left, I would imagine.
Okay.
If not, maybe 10.
Okay.
Send them all.
Okay. They begin flying upwards and see much of this prior to you, but all the rest of you, as you go, begin to see it as well. First couple hours through this pass is essentially greater foothills, base of mountain type terrain. The grassy expanse of the Cathian Plains fall completely behind. It becomes much rockier, spotted with evergreen trees. And then as you begin to actually enter this pass into the mountain, and the sun now behind you, largely at your back, casting shadows into this pass as you walk, and glinting off of waterfalls that are pouring down from several of the high bluffs. Remnants of that spring snow clinging to higher areas up at the peaks that you can see ahead of you. And what seems to be, over the next 2-3 hours, an endless expanse of mountain that continues one after the other in a single file almost eastward. Yes, Brightwing.
Does this look like the mountain from my dream?
Roll a d20.
No, this one rolling the natural 19s. 2.
It's hard to tell. What you saw was dark night, high up, and right now you're seeing this sun-spattered base of mountains. So, if they could be the same up in where the vision you saw, but this is not that area, and it's hard to tell. Make a specific connection. Now, kind of in the range as you are, the path becomes this winding ramp upwards. And it is, in a sense, a path. It is by no means carved or blazed of a trail, but it's walkable. There are some times where you have to do a little bit of climbing or move around a tree, but it's doable. But there are areas where you begin to see it would be more difficult on horseback, and feel a little bit of peace knowing you probably made the right decision there. And as you wind back and forth with the sun beginning to reach setting behind you, you broken in and out of shade, hemmed in on either side by trees, rocks, these small falls. Every once in a while, a river will wind along the path or across it. You begin to see all kinds of animal life. A couple eagles spotted in nests along higher bluffs. Squirrels and foxes peering through branches and brushes as you pass. Even a beaver or two working in one of the rivers that you cross. And you make your way upwards and inwards into these mountain ranges. And as the sun essentially is setting behind you, dusk really has approached and things are getting dark. Brightwing, you would notice it first. Perhaps a couple turns ahead and only not seeing it directly, but seeing it cast onto another bluff nearby. You see what looks to be a soft firelight flickering. A ways up, vertically above you, maybe 30, 40 feet, and ahead a good ways, around a bend or two.
Yes, Nim.
Yes.
There is a firelight just over there.
How far is it?
You're not quite sure how far ahead of you it is, maybe 100 or 200 feet. And a ways up into a bluff, it looks like.
I could send more, but that'd be all I could do today. Or at least for a while. Could approach this one on foot.
We could wait here about 30 minutes. Could you get your spells back?
If we wanted to stop short, we could.
I will.
But you want to do that first and then rest? And then get both of them back?
It's a bit risky towards the end. Might be hasty, but I mean, I could cast it now.
What if it's them?
You're really fucked.
We
I'd
didn't
rather
make
know
that
it
good a
is
time.
them.
There's no way they'd still be here.
I think we play on the side of safety. If we wait, that just increases the chances of them noticing us. I'll bring them back.
Okay.
I'll cast Flock of Familiars again. Takes a minute.
Okay. And you send out.
Let's do some owls this
Okay.
time.
Okay. You send your owls up and ahead, And as they round this bend, they see what appears to be a cutout, possibly small cave in the side of the mountain rock with what is very clearly the glow of firelight. And as the owls ride the wind down slowly, I'm assuming you've given them the instruction to not look like they're spying,
Yeah.
to look like owls.
One's gonna be by us.
Okay.
The other three will kind of go maybe perch on some of the rocks up above, and then one
Okay.
will do the flyby.
Okay. That one sees what looks to be a not incredibly deep, but deep enough cavern cut out into the side of the rock up the face of this bluff a little bit. And you see a fire in a ring of rocks, and you see a figure. Seems to be very tall. Probably would be 8 or more feet, but difficult to make out as you can't quite make out gender from here, are hunched heavily in the back and sitting on a log next to this fire. Thick body, not muscular necessarily. Looks to be old, grayish skin, very tightly shorn gray hair, and wearing a bunch of skins and furs and beads and bones, with a thick, knobby, curled staff that has a bunch more small bones and beads hanging off it. And you see a variety of furs spread around on the ground and hanging over what seem to be like drying racks. A pot over the fire, and a small tent-like lean-to shelter near the back. And roll a perception check for the one. For one. We call it a group check.
I'm unclear. Is this my perception or the owl's perception?
It uses their physical traits in that regard.
Okay.
So
21.
okay. You also, with the one who makes the flyby, spot what is initially a hidden sort of natural stairwell in the rock that curves off the path and up behind this cave. This seems like it could allow for movement up and down. It's about 30, 40, 35 feet up this cavern mouth.
Looks like something's home.
Does it look dangerous?
Looks intelligent. Has skins, beads, a staff. Cooking.
It's evening. Do we ask to share the fire? Do we not engage? Do we move on?
It's
We can
also
see
8
if they
feet
saw
tall.
anyone.
Do I recognize like a race of this thing?
Make a, we'll call it a general intelligence check.
13.
It looks to probably be Goliath. From the distance that you saw it, it could be some sort of like giant kin of some other kind, but based off the size and what you noted of a potential intelligence, you think it's probably Goliath.
Could be Goliath, not entirely confident.
We could at least go ask them if they've seen anything. If this is their home, you said it looks like a permanent structure of some kind, then perhaps... I don't know.
Then we shouldn't sneak.
No.
We don't want to startle them.
Mm-mm.
For my sake, Yasna, roll a stealth check for your flyby owl.
18.
Okay. As far as you know, this figure has not clocked your birds at all. So,
Do you want to approach now or give it an hour?
Oh.
It'd only be 30 minutes.
What time is it?
It's
post dusk. 7:49.
7:49. It's not super late.
Hmm. I just want to be able to set up a camp if we need to.
How's
don't
the
have a
vantage
preference.
point look up there with the
We-
stars?
We could approach. If it turns bad,
Running is an option.
we run. Yes.
Running.
If it gets that bad.
Yeah.
I'm not completely worthless if it gets hairy, but
Just the last
And
if-
time
if
met
they're
people in
not
the
for
mountains,
it,
was bad.
we walk away. Pardon the intrusion.
What's the worst that could happen?
Do they turn out to be some tentacled creature that tries to kill us?
Terrible things.
Yeah, but we've already done that. We did that, and we're stronger.
Alright. Yeah, let's do it.
Off we go. The owls are gonna keep watch as we start going up.
Okay. Perched in places?
The two are perched, the one's up in the air. Just
Okay.
getting a brief. Basically, I want the one that's flying to be looking for sudden movements. Like if there's a sound and this thing starts panicking, I want it.
Okay. And you're going to make your way up this path?
I will go first and I will walk with intention. As if attempting to sound like a person just walking up.
Okay, so you do not want to make a stealth check.
Right, yeah. I want to
Okay.
Ooh,
sound like I'm
sneaky.
just hiking up here. It's not.
Okay. Okay.
Trudging.
Yeah.
Sure. You make your way up. You do not hear sounds, reactions of voice. It takes about a minute to get up this thing. And you reach just before the cabin entry point, and see this a small gray lizard that's kind of perched up on a rock looking at you. And then it scurries back inside. Well,
Hello. We're just passing through.
who's we? I'm speaking to a voice.
How far back are we?
Eclipse is probably 10 feet from the mouth. Then you guys are behind her.
I thought this person was sitting by the fire.
They are a little bit into the mouth
Hmm.
of this cavern.
May we approach?
There's four of us.
I know. And you have approached. The last 10 feet seem more your business than mine.
Well, we don't want to intrude.
Hmm. I could use a bit of intrusion, all things considered.
We're really
Walk
quite
up.
good company.
Okay, you walk up.
Yeah.
You
well,
turn the corner and see very clearly a Goliath woman. Old! As old as you've seen a Goliath, wrinkles, drooping skin. heavily bent over in the spot that she's sitting with, to where she's probably around Brightwing's height, but would be much, much, much taller if standing. She eyes all of you as you finally step in. Curious bunch.
This home is unique. Have you lived here long?
Very.
Hmm.
What kind of guest intrusion would you like this night?
I could help you with dinner. You're cooking.
I could play you some
She
music.
seems to almost have gotten lost for a second, perks back up. Music I have not heard for I don't even know how many years. Food, I don't know if it can be improved, but you're welcome to try. Conversation can't go wrong.
Food goes well with drink. I'm gonna pop out my last bottle of Scumble.
Okay. Big city drink, I assume.
Small town.
Oh, I will not judge too quickly then. Where are you all from? Do you have names? Or feel free to sit. You don't all need to stand in the entryway.
I'll sit down and pull out the lute and just very quietly start playing a little, like, lo-fi background vibe.
Okay.
My name's Faye. I'm from Ristelios, so a bit of a ways from home.
It's about as far as you can get from here.
Hmm.
If not geographically, in the culture.
Yeah. It's nice for a change.
Not surprising based on your look.
Apple doesn't fall far.
I will walk in, find a cup or two, just helping myself to wherever it is, pour a couple of glasses, set one down for them, sit down. I go by Yasnet. I'm from Proward.
I'll kind of perk up at that.
Both of you quite far. You're an interesting one. Harder to make out.
I try.
Turns to Brightwing and Eclipse.
I'll let Brightwing take her seat.
Oh, okay. I am Brightwing. I'm from the Styrian Forest.
To the west.
Hi.
Not city folk like these.
No. Very, very much natural. Not mountains, but, forest. Yes.
From a tribe.
Yes, the Koea.
And you?
Eclipse. I'm from the city not far from here. Leah.
And what brings you all out here? Certainly quite out of place.
Doing a little bit of field research on behalf of the Lycean Consortium. They're not much for traveling.
Roll a deception check.
Am I lying?
Yes, you are. Heavily by omission and pretty much just entirely.
Man, I was gonna say our friend got lost in the fucking mountains.
That would actually be quite true also.
It's a 30, Matt.
Holy shit! She's gonna get a 31 being old. Old people
I
got
know.
shit.
Wise as fuck.
God damn it.
Hmm.
We're not gonna get any grandma candy.
Field research, yeah. Are you colleagues of the other two?
The other two.
From a couple days back. Very rare to see city slickers like you up in my mountains, but even more rare to see two groups in a span of a few days with no relation.
It's a rivalry. They're beating us to the punch.
Did you speak with them?
You ask many questions. I have some of my own, perhaps. Perhaps we can make a trade.
I'm gonna cast a surface level detect thoughts.
Okay. You get curiosity. A tinge of suspicion, though quelled by your deception roll, but still the oddity of two groups like this back to back is very, very abnormal and curious to her, and she doesn't necessarily quite know what to make of that. But it heavily appears to be curiosity and interest that you get on the surface. I have an old practice of throwing runes. I haven't had a good reason or a good subject for... I don't even wish to think of how long. Will you let me read all of you?
Yes.
Anyone
myself.
opposed?
No.
I'll be honest. This kind of stuff does scare me a little. Why not?
All right. Before dinner or after?
You're the host? What would you prefer?
Better to eat on the thoughts of what is learned, I say. Before. Who will go first? She begins to reach into a pouch tied onto her hip.
May we have your name, Runecaster?
Ah. Curious to see if you would have cared. Shoshana.
Shoshana, thank you.
Kind of push off the wall because I've kind of just been leaning against it. I guess I'll go first.
Okay. She gestures to a fur in front of her.
Take a seat, I guess.
Okay.
I'll switch to the bone flute.
Okay. Word. You see her pull out what looks to be a decent-sized handful of all manner of strange things. Small carved bits of stone, wood, glass, many, many pieces of bone. All of them seem to be painted on or inscribed with some sort of like tribal-looking rune almost. And she sits down, takes a deep breath, and then begins to slowly mutter/chant. And the chant begins to meld in with Faye's music, or maybe Faye's music begins to meld in with the chant, or maybe a little bit of both. And her eyes are closed. And then after maybe 15 seconds, you see them open and see clouded white, no more pupils. And she tosses her hand, and you see all the bits fall on the ground in front of you. And then she puts her hand over them as they scatter the other hand. So throws them with one, other hand goes out as they scatter. And as her hand reaches over them in the spot in front of you, they all stop in a very clear instant moment. Some hovering, some like up on tilt, others laying naturally. And a few seconds go by. And then, eyes still open but clouded, you hear, in kind of a slightly more haunted tone of her voice.
Freedom. You have recently uncovered this path, but you are still hesitant to walk it. You are beholden to duty, to expectation, to the rules that keep peace and order, and fair enough. Without them, all would be chaos. But they only hold value for as long as they protect your freedom. Otherwise, they become nothing more than comfortable shackles. And you are far too fierce to be shackled. Listen to your soul. If she wants to run, run. If she wants to fight, fight. If she wants to cry, cry. We are only who we are when we are free. I see your desire to restrain, or to be restrained. Your fear that this freedom will be dangerous to those you care about. But know this. When those you care about most need you most, they will need you to be your most dangerous.
Then the eyes uncloud. And the hand pulls back, and the remaining pieces that were in some sort of unnatural state clatter to the ground.
All right, who's
Surprising.
next? She just kind of gets up.
Indeed. If all you are this curious, it will be quite an interesting night's readings.
Kind of get up, give a polite bow, and get out of the way. Go back to my wall of leaning.
I'll go.
Okay. She gestures in front of her again.
Sit down in front of her.
Okay. Same ritual. Mutter turns to chant. Eyes wide over. Tosses with one hand. Freezes with the other. Probably Brightwing Eclipse and Eclipse with your passive perceptions if you're paying attention. Yasmit because you're looking so closely. Probably not Faye given that you're playing music and don't have quite the passive perception.
I'm lost
You
in the
see a
sauce.
notably larger quantity of the runes that are cast hover in the air when she freezes them. Another 15 seconds of silence after she freezes them.
Trust. You have learned to protect yourself through distance. To fly out of reach and out of sight. But now you fly with a flock. And the further from that flock you fly, the longer it will take for them to catch you when you fall. And fall you may, nimble as you are. Perhaps not to a sword or spell, but in here.
And you see her other hand that's not hovering, holding the staff, juts forward surprisingly quickly, and you feel it tap against your chest. Not hard, but surprisingly quick.
Do not be afraid to open this. If your birds are good and true, the flock will bring you warmth and direction. And I sense you already know that they are good and true. You are only hesitant to whether you are.
She hesitates for a while longer, muttering to herself.
And yes, I see the departure of one you deemed questionably trustworthy. And perhaps the arrival of another. Take care not to apply the lessons of one lost too carelessly, lest you create another without need.
And the eyes return. And the pieces fall, clattering.
Probably just kind of stunned for a bit, going more of an inward thinking. Nod and walk back over, get another drink.
Okay. She, while waiting for another person, downs half of one of the ones you poured for her.
Not my particular taste, but not terrible. Much like you, perhaps.
Chuckles to herself a little bit.
Well,
I'll
Looks
nod
to you.
deferentially to Brightwing as I'm
Okay.
still doing the
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Pull out the drum. Why not?
Hey.
Okay.
It's a vibe.
I'll respectively approach and give a respectful nod and sit down in front of her.
She nods back. Another deep breath. Again, the ritual. Casts them out. Freezes them. Eyes white. Another 15 seconds of silence.
Balance. There is dedication in you to a power and a path greater than yourself. Admirable, to be sure. But you are also young. And with youth comes a shallow understanding of all that is. You know your one path, and you walk it fiercely. But the true heart of wisdom is considering all paths and discerning the one that is most right. Your faith serves you well. The runes would never suggest you abandon it. Only know that there are many sources of wisdom in the world. It can come from the earth and her children, but it can also come from family.
And as she says this, you see the hand with her staff tilt slightly towards Eclipse.
From experience,
It tilts towards Faye.
from a listening friend.
It tilts towards Yasnit.
From discipline.
And it tilts out the cavern doorway towards the south.
Keep your heart open, my child, and you will continue to learn. Then, you will find balance. And only in balance will you find what you seek.
Eyes come back.
She'll get up very silently and give another respectful nod.
I should perhaps like to meet your people one day, though I don't know if I could make the journey. But I sense great spiritual depth.
My mentor and you, I think, would get along very well.
Old, I assume.
Very, yes. But as with you, very wise in his age.
I don't know how much of my wisdom is my own. Much of it is the runes, but...
Thank you.
Someone else will have to pick up the melody, I believe.
I'll try. You giving me the flute?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
boy!
I've given it. You've played it once before.
That's true.
That is true. What did you remember how you rolled on that?
I think I rolled pretty well, actually.
You did okay.
Okay. I will say make a performance check.
Could my performance prior have inspired her?
Yes. If you'd like to spend an inspiration, absolutely.
$18.
Okay. Faye, you sit down.
For the record, my mentor would not like you. Nor you, them, I assume.
I
Likely.
would say that it's not what Faye was playing, but it's probably
No.
way more tribal and
Yes.
and more minor key dissonant stuff. Not
Okay.
It's a bone flute.
yeah.
It tracks.
All the major keys become
Everything
minor
is
keys,
minor.
and the minor keys are a whole new thing.
The tempo of the drum shifts to a more steady.
Okay. Same thing. The melody of her chant as it turns from muttering to chanting is a little different, again matching with the tone that's being set. Eyes go white, runes are tossed, hand freezes them. Silence for a bit.
Complicated. Your past is shrouded, as is your future. And not only shrouded from the runes, shrouded from you. You need answers, yes. But what answer do you need most?
Goes pensively quiet for another 10, 15 seconds.
Identity. A complex answer, indeed. You long to know who you are and where you come from. Not only who you are, no. Also why you are. An even more difficult question. You are a storyteller, but you are not only here to tell a story. Not anymore. You are here to be one. And now you must find your place in it. Who you are to them.
Her staff once again gestures towards the party.
Who you are to you. Who can call you daughter or sister? Who will look up to you and who will look down? Know this, my child. You decide more of those answers than you might expect. And if you don't like the ones you find, rewrite them.
Her eyes return. And that's where we'll take our break. Welcome back. Svei, your reading finishes. Her eyes return.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you all. Quite interesting. More or less what I expected, which was not to know what to expect. The one who left.
She kind of looks towards Yasna.
I sense he was close. Would you be curious his reading?
Can you pick his essence up off of us? Is it so strong?
Actually,
Off
I'm
of
gonna-
you, perhaps not, but if you had something of his.
I'm gonna go to the bag and pull out the sword. Specifically, and just put it on the little fabric. I would like to know.
Me too.
Is it? Would that be intrusion, though?
Yes.
Could always
feel
send it
like-
to him.
I feel like this is more of a willing thing. That's
I don't want to pry.
I don't have rules. It's up to all of you.
I didn't want him to push me. I wanted my time to find my own.
Mm.
If you'd like to, I'll step away.
Looks at you, Brightwing.
Trust is given, not taken, so I will step away too.
Mm. All right.
I think I'd rather see his story unfold for myself. If we are so lucky, than to see it cast in bone.
And I am outvoted. I'll put it back.
Okay.
Hmm.
He wanted to find himself. Find
Mm.
meaning.
From the bits and pieces I picked up off of your readings, I don't know if he knows what he wants to find.
Yeah.
But stew, and you can stew on what was read.
Chuckles to herself. Pulls out a few bowls.
Oh. I'll go help her with the stew.
It doesn't take much help. There's one ladle, but she passes it out to you. It appears to probably be some sort of rabbit and is not very flavorful. Unless, Brightwing, you have some way you want to help.
Yeah. Would you mind? I could make some fresh herbs. If you'd like.
Make them.
Mm-hmm. And I'll make some rosemary.
Mm. May I smell?
Oh, yes, of course.
Hmm. We don't have rosemary up here. This would be a rare treat. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll season the stew.
Okay.
Is it less than 1 cubic foot?
Your bowls certainly are. You know what? The whole pot probably is a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
I will make this the most.
Oh,
Like-
shit.
Like, the herbs are great, but like I will enhance that. Like, I'll play off of those flavors
Mm-hmm.
because I can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living matter for an hour.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Is it like Restaliosian? Or is it what culinary culture are you pulling on here?
I think I would just try to honor like what flavors were present and just like enhance and complement.
Okay, so you're making a chef move here.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like she's just putting the salt and pepper in there because that's all you need.
Roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
You are not proficient with chef's implements, which I think is
I am
actually a thing.
proficient with food, seeing I am a creature who consumes it.
True.
It's a 12.
Okay. 12 is plenty to make a decent, quite good tasting, if relatively simple, nothing fancy stew. The flavor is heavily improved. And Shorshana initially seems like a little like if you had really strong coffee and you don't even drink black coffee and you just had a sip of it, because this is not her norm. And then over time, she slowly seems to grow to like it and takes like 2 more bowls.
I'll offer tea as well.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, tea is the only thing better than stew, perhaps, for stewing on what has been read.
How does
agree.
one pick up that particular hobby?
This is something I learned from a master, a shaman in my tribe many, many years ago. When those of my tribe still lived in these mountains. Now it is only me left to carry on. And I only carry it on for the few more years I have, and then it will likely be lost. But such is the way.
If you don't mind, I would appreciate any teaching you could do.
To cast.
I always appreciate wisdom of others.
I could try. It takes decades to learn to the degree I have. But perhaps. And you must make your own runes. Over time. For now you can learn from mine. But the connection will not be nearly as valuable.
I'll pull out 2 crocodile teeth.
Okay. Big, giant crocodile teeth, right?
Yeah, I don't know if there's. I don't know if you could use these to start, but
I'll pull out 72 wolf teeth.
Oh,
Okay.
shit!
okay.
You have a few teeth to choose from.
Well, 10 wolf teeth.
Okay.
I appreciate, but she takes down 1 or 2 feathers from her staff.
Hmm.
I think this is more suited for me.
Indeed. All right.
She sets out a little area with tea in hand and begins to impart to you the wisdom of throwing runes in the style of her people. I will have you roll a straight wisdom check.
I'm in nature, correct?
You are in nature.
I'm not shifted, but I could shift.
You are not shifted. You could shift.
I think if she's trying to connect to particularly feathers, I think she would try to shift.
Okay. And you have a shift left?
I have 2 shifts left.
Okay.
Guidance?
Yeah.
Straight wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
22.
22. Okay. You get and grasp the baseline understanding of what she's doing. And it seems like she is drawing on some natural power. Druidic, spiritual, that you can't 100% make out. But she makes it very clear that doing it for you, it will be based in the powers that you draw on, which is why you make your own runes. It's very individual to you. So you quickly come to understand this would be something that you would try to do through the wilds. And shows you the types of runes that you could paint on the feathers. Shows you how she casts. But largely tells you kind of the spiritual theme behind it, and then it's up to you to learn it in your own way, essentially. And you are have the building blocks of potentially learning something like this in the long term. The long term.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. I think Brightwing will share tea with her afterwards. But I think it's very specifically tea that she had from home that she saves for homesickness times, and I think a time when connecting with somebody at the kind of the same vibe, I think she would want to share that.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything else during this time? This probably is a good hour after dinner.
I think Yasnit would pull out his smoking pipe he got from Frida.
Oh shit!
Go towards the front of the hovel.
Okay.
Get high on a mountain.
I have tobacco. I don't know what the rest is.
Oh yeah, I have a pouch of questionable somethings.
Is that how it's written down?
I don't know. I don't even know if I have it.
We've never identified what it is.
Yeah, a month later.
We could just drink those potions and just see what happens.
And I would say that he probably would pull out his jewel crafting book, which he's kind of avoided for a few days. And with the pipe, you'd see him taking one of those small, thin sheets of metal and with a cloth over what looks like an awl, and maybe finding some sort of wood, he'd start punching holes in it.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Sending.
Okay. Whomst to?
My mother.
Okay.
I can't believe it's been less than a week since I've talked to you. Quite a lot has happened. I'm alright, but I'm alright.
Okay. A few seconds go by.
Oh dear. Apparently I did not teach you well enough not to scare your mother with vague terms about your goings-on. Send one of these again to me soon, or I'll be worrying endlessly. Good night.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of paper and just start sketching out kind of like just thinking of her and thinking of watching her do art as I grew up and using, you know, what she taught me, and very basic, like, you know, the shapes and the sketches and things, but just draw like little captures of like 2 eagles up in a nest and a beaver chewing on a tree and like a squirrel on a rock, and then just the outline of like my friends around the fire with Shoshana. Kind of tuck that away and sit by myself for a little while.
Okay. Clips.
She's probably returned the bowl at this point after the food and just kind of still leaning in the same place. Mostly keeping an eye out.
Okay. Eventually, Shoshana finishes with Brightwing.
I can't even remember what it was you said you were doing. Research? Are you moving on in the morning? Are you moving on now?
If we're welcome to share the safety of your fire for the night, we'll take it. But yes, we would be moving on in the morning.
I would be a poor host to extend dinner and then send you out into the cold. Which it will get.
Looking primarily at you when she says that.
Don't suppose it'll be the most comfortable sleep you've had, but...
Slowly start pulling out the triple-decker hammocks.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably doable in here with some bits of rock jutting out. She watches with bemusement.
Perhaps I need to make one of those. Though it
Come
does
on.
my back good to sleep on the hard stone.
Better you than me. You did say that you saw some other travelers.
Ah.
A competition.
2.5, I might say. Saw them just about 2 days ago, I should think. In the afternoon. Marching with cold intent and purpose. And the larger one had a figure strapped to his back. Carry him like little more than a sack of grain. The figure looked much like you, child.
Did they see you?
Doubtful. I am not commonly seen unless I care to be. And they did not seem to care if they did.
My mother has the same wisdom. Which direction did they go, if you mind me asking?
East up the pass, the way you were coming.
Do you know these mountains well?
To a certain distance from here, I know them better than anyone.
Is there a faster route?
Where's your destination?
In fairness, I know not. We're trying to catch up to them.
If you're following them, there are not many paths through these mountains that are traversable. At least. It is unlikely you will lose them if you stay in the main pass. Though, if you don't know where they're going or where you're going, it's hard to know when the path will divert.
Is there have you ever seen a facility or somewhere in the mountains?
Something modern, you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
No. The most civilized bit of land up here was the home of my tribe, and that is little more than shacks and homes and cabins like this. And those are long washed away, broken down.
Do you mind me asking what happened to your people?
The call of the world at large. Fewer and fewer were content with the life of these mountains. And when the young and adventurous would find some newfangled excitement in the big cities, they would bring back stories and others would follow suit. Those old enough to laugh and stay have all made their way under the earth. Except for me.
Do you resent those youths for their adventures?
Oh, no, I could not. Though, I imagine that many may resent themselves over time. It is common to believe that pursuing better comforts, more wealth, will bring contentment, and it rarely does. Typically the opposite, I find.
It does not.
I am sure that some have fulfilling lives, families, and for them I feel happy. For the others, what they have lost leaving here is punishment enough.
Oof.
Do you have any more of that drink, lad?
Have the bottle.
I may learn to make something similar, though perhaps a bit less fruity.
We have something like that back home.
I would imagine so. Of the many things you are hardened in, living out places like this, one is your taste in drink.
Your options are few, I assume.
Quite.
May we do anything for you? Anything in exchange for the safety of your fire?
The stories I have gathered from reading you is quite payment enough. I shall be thinking on them for some time. Keep me entertained. Where Blip cannot.
Looks over at the little gray lizard. It's poking its head up.
Blip?
It's how I keep an eye on the pass. He spotted you before. I imagine you spotted me. But
It's good to know you're safe.
And
Two
I
hands the mug and takes a drink.
suppose we should settle down if we are to travel early.
Yes.
I would take first watch if you all don't mind. I have things to turn her stew on. Yes.
If you hear howling, don't worry. They know not to come up here.
They
I
don't
like
find out.
wolves.
I like wolves. Over there. Just gesture to the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're not bad if you know how to handle them.
The last ones
Nip
we
and
fought were
I-
pretty bad.
Yes, do you remember the wolves? Our
The ones that
second-
tried to eat me.
We sent them away, remember?
After they were trying to eat us, yes.
They didn't
Crawling.
hurt us.
Crawl on the top layer of one of the hammocks.
Mm-hmm.
I will, with my consistently bristled fur after hearing the description of the people, put my bedroll together and on the ground. Just wait. Try to fall asleep.
Okay. Right when you're taking watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Okie dokie. 21?
21.
No. Yes, 21. Math.
Okay. First few hours of the night pass without seeing much beyond every now and then an owl glide by silently. You do hear the sounds of nightlife nature, a couple howls in the distance at one point. And take a bit of comfort in the by far clearest view of the stars that you have had since, at least since getting to Olea. Maybe even since being back home, because you are up in clearer air here.
I think she does take comfort in that, and I think she stews on what sorry, what was her name again?
Shorshana?
Shoshana
Mm-hmm.
has given her. And I think for a moment she prays to the wilds. And says, I think she has given me what you have been trying to teach me these past few months. A new perspective, I suppose. I will try to find the balance she pointed out. Keep Aedwin safe, please. I don't know where his journey goes, but I have comfort to know that he's not alone with you in it.
The distant warmth of the fire behind you is barely helping, and as the night is growing on, the wind is getting colder. And as you finish, as you often do, you feel it get a bit warmer. Just for a moment, a whirl around you and then away. And as you look out with it, as it goes, you see swooping down from above the cavern and then out southwards what looks to be a hawk, or falcon of some kind, with grayish and brown coloration tipped in bits of orange and red.
I'll nod to it.
You hear the single piercing cry of a hawk.
And then before I switch shifts with somebody, I'd like to send 2 people.
Ooh! All right.
I would like to send to my mentor, Dawn Feather,
Okay.
and I'd like to say, on a curious path, met a curious person who taught me wisdom as much as you did. I hope home is safe. May the wilds be with you. I don't think I got it all in.
Okay. You wait maybe 15, 20 seconds, then hear a somewhat tired voice.
Oh, Brightwing. It is safe here. I am glad that you are continuing to learn. I hope you will share what you learn when you return. Wilds be with you.
And right before I probably go wake Eclipse up, I'm gonna send a clerk.
Oh!
I was gonna do that!
Okay.
Claude, it is Brightwing of Twilight Heralds. Just wondering if you're okay and safe. Yes, that's... I could say more. Wilds be with you.
You immediately hear, "What? Where is Bird Girl?" Huh? You hear no words and several grunting noises like he's looking for things or through things.
Clerk confused.
And that's it.
And I'll go to Eclipse and shake her awake.
She jerks like she just woke up from a nightmare.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Was it shift?
I can wake someone else up.
No. I don't want to go back to sleep.
Would you like some tea before I head down?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Clark's okay.
Oh. Good.
Like the wilds.
That's good.
I'll go to bed.
Okay. Eclipse, roll a perception check.
You fucking piece of shit.
It's an 8, Matt.
Okay.
But it fits because I was thinking as she's trying to find the right place to sit and get a gauge of everything. She keeps like finding a position, not being happy with it, finding another one, being frustrated, and just shifts around before finally being quiet and sitting. And once she finally gets over that, she just breaks down and just cries. Just out of frustration and fear. But finally has the privacy to do it.
How long?
Probably... It goes in waves. She probably does it for like 10 minutes. Kind of finally like breathes through it for a couple minutes. It probably hits another wave as she hears a noise. Probably in total lasts about 30 minutes.
Okay. That does fit with your 8. And I will say, take a mark of DM inspiration if you don't have one. And your watch comes to a close.
I think the closer she gets to an ending, she just kind of, like, recomposes herself somehow. Kind of shakes as quietly as she can and goes over, and I guess I'll wake up Faye. Just kind of rock the hammock a little bit.
Okay.
I'll just kind of like get some momentum and like roll out.
Mm-hmm.
She has her back to you after. She just says it's your turn. The stars are nice though.
Just gonna squeeze your shoulder. That one's warm if you want it.
I'll knock the damn thing over. And I just go back to my bed.
Okay. Faye, roll a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is only 6 hour, right?
It is. If you want it to be.
I think it. Yeah. So that means we only need 3 watches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You typically do. We call it. We make it 3 watches and finagle the
Okay.
numbers, more or less. But yes.
I got a 6.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to do on your watch?
Yep. I cast sending again.
Okay. You have gotten your long rest already because you went first.
Oh shit. Okay, that's fine.
But you can, if you want, you can say it was before, or you can do it now. It's up to you.
It's fine. I didn't want to. Yeah, that's fine.
To whomst?
I don't expect a response. But I will cast Eowyn.
Okay.
Your note was on brand. Can't say we're happy, but can't say we're surprised. Please be safe. Never forget you're always one of the heralds.
I would say you hear like a Eowyn-esque sigh almost. Not even sigh, like kind of sigh, a little bit exasperated in an Eowyn-ish way. And then a pause for a bit.
We'll try.
That's it.
And I will try to, inspired by last night's cooking, start breakfast.
Okay. You have
Whatever that entails. I don't know what I have.
She has like some bags of tubers and stuff
Sure.
that she probably picked up from nearby rivers, and there's some beef jerky that you have access to. But you also have the ability to flavor things however you want, so
Are there any like nests? Well, I'm not gonna try that. Just gonna like look for eggs, but that's probably not a thing.
I mean, you could try.
I could try. I'll try. I will look in the immediate vicinity for some
Okay.
eggs.
How far are you willing to go? How many minutes or how many feet?
Like a minute. Like
Okay.
not out of like line of sight.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, pretty good. 22? No, yeah, 22.
22? Okay. You shamble around kind of the upper edge of this rocky sort of outcropping thing that her cave is built into, and do see what looks to be like a decent-sized nest, maybe a little less than a foot in diameter, up a little ways. Like maybe a 8-foot climb up a little bit of rock.
Sure. I'll go for it.
Okay.
Being
You clamber up.
resourceful.
Uh-huh.
Getting out of my comfort zone.
You clamber up. Roll a stealth check.
Oh boy.
Unless you're not trying to be stealthy.
I wasn't trying to be stealthy. I was trying to scare
Okay,
away
don't
whatever
roll a
was in
stealth
the
check
nest.
then. About halfway up, as you're climbing, you suddenly see, turning down to you, a sharp-beaked face
Oh,
of a
no.
large predatory bird of some kind.
I'll like whistle at him.
Okay, roll an animal handling check.
Oh goodness, shenanigans.
Dangerously close to hijinks.
19!
Okay.
Wow.
You are very musically gifted, and you match perfectly the pitch of his little screech, or her,
Yeah.
you're not sure.
Yeah.
And it turns its head the other way, flutters its wings a little bit.
It's
Oh,
yeah.
he's poofing. He's getting hold on.
It's-
I will make a puff of wind with prestidigitation come up from behind me and poof my hair out back at him.
Okay. Flutters up onto the edge of the nest. Does a small screech at you again.
I'll pull out some jerky from my pocket and give it to him and then leave.
Okay.
What if they're not?
Um,
What if I crack them and they're not eggs? What if they're just like
The bad-
fertilized?
As you turn to leave, you see it holding the jerky in its beak,
Beak.
and then with a talon, like, slice at it and make a smaller piece and another smaller piece, and then drop it down into the nest where you can't see.
Shit. Okay. Go back up and fry some tubers.
Okay. The rest of you wake to what is probably texturally not the best breakfast you've ever seen, but somehow it still tastes pretty good.
I would study that new book.
Okay. And attune to it?
Well, I'm already attuned to it,
Okay.
but I would learn the wizard spell Find Familiar
Okay.
and go about the ritual to cast it.
Okay.
New friend.
During breakfast, Yasnip sets up something you guys haven't seen before. Some incense.
I'm enraptured.
Conducts this unique looking ritual, and at the end of it, in a puff of probably a swirling bit of wind and ash, you see
A dark brown burgundy owl.
Yes. Now we just need a bear. But there's only one Lucy.
It does need a name.
Well, I named the last thing, so it's somebody else's turn.
I named the Reedlepa and the horses.
I come up with enough names for myself.
I
Alright. It is a
Will it
bird.
be Dreadwing?
Oh. It's pressure. Ah. Is it a boy or a girl?
Do you want to check?
No, I didn't think to ask. Maybe something that could be either.
Doesn't have to be the first word you say.
Clayson.
What if it dies?
That's not a good idea. You're
Well,
right. That was bad.
these, and I
Bad
kind of point out
name.
it. If it's anything like Remy's badger, don't technically like die.
No.
They just
that's
kind
A
of.
badger's
No,
It's-
that's not right.
He's a familiar, right? Remy's badger. I would know that much, or is it actually like a badger? Matt.
Remy's badger is a familiar, yes.
Okay. Yeah. They just kind of poof, and it's kind of like Lucy, but they're a lot easier to bring back.
Hmm.
I shall think on it.
I'll take that.
Unless it's Twilight and we're the Heralds, that would be hilarious. But anyway.
I've never named anything.
It's your first.
You don't have to decide right now.
They'll be around. And then they won't. And I'll make him poof out of existence.
Okay.
Speaking of names, well, Yasnip knows. But I feel, well, we have two names. My people, you know one. I don't know, I haven't told you the second. I didn't really know how to handle it's not something we normally, yeah, it's, she's rambling. She starts speaking probably in Korean because she's really nervous. Araya.
Araya. It's beautiful. Do you prefer that, or is that reserved for formal use?
Or is
No,
it
it-
like your mom would use it like a full name when you're in trouble?
Technically, my
thing.
full name is Araya Brightwing,
Okay.
but Brightwing is sort of the name you. Our names are seen as true names are reserved for people close. So I say we are close. If you're welcome to use it, but Brightwing is also they're equally me. One does not outweigh the other.
So one for private, personal, not other people use. When it's just us, not other people.
You can. Raya was who I was born. Brightwing is the spirit. They are both.
Do you have a preference?
Well, my parents used Brightwing. Raya is more reserved for private.
You hear an unnecessarily loud on a cup of tea from a few feet away.
I didn't hear any of that.
Who are you gonna tell?
Hmm.
I don't know. Reading
Fair
her
enough.
runes seems pretty close, but that's up to her.
Yeah.
Shoshana,
Hmm.
do you have any inkling or information of what this might be? And I'm going to show the symbol, the flame symbol. However, it is not the ring. It is on a flask.
Minor illusion.
And I'm holding.
I cannot say that it looks familiar to me, no. There are many odd symbols used in our tribal markings and paintings, but this particular formation is not familiar to me, no.
I will set the flask on the stone or whatever near us. This was with the ring.
Oh, actually,
And I don't know anything about it.
The flask? Oh.
is there anything in it?
I haven't opened it.
Can I do detect magic?
Sure.
To detect magic.
I opened the bottle, guys.
The
I'll open
description
anything.
that I have says a flask wrapped in fine leather and inlaid with what looks like gold and silver in a unique, clearly significant symbol, which is that of the 4 diamonds with the flame symbol in the center. Also, a flask or tankard can hold 1 pint of liquid.
You open it, it's empty.
Does it smell like anything?
Roll a perception check.
Constitution check.
Oh my god, it's a dirty 20.
Ah.
It's possible.
You get like this very, very old hint of like a mint liqueur.
Liqueur?
God, I suddenly hate whoever had this.
I
even
know,
more.
same.
Different crumble mints straight? Like, absolutely not.
Jesus. Mint liqueur? What is wrong with this person?
Mm-mm.
Mint anything, am I right?
Okay.
Man, who does that? That's crazy.
Listen.
Linda.
Who would possibly do something like that?
The owl is Linda.
Stupid.
I still wonder if these symbols are not correspondent directly to an individual. We have yet to see the same one twice, and I feel with the amount. Oh my god. Bless you, Brightwing.
Just the smell of the mint liqueur made Brightwing drunk.
I feel we would have run into more frequently if they were not like call signs or something. I don't know. If these were whole separate organizations, someone else.
At her. Then we'll research it.
Well, this would be the second. Although I did find it in the same place.
Probably
They look like they belong to the same person, Matt?
The flask and what?
The ring?
The ring.
Um,
I will put the ring next to it.
beyond the fact that it has the same symbol, it doesn't look like they're particularly of like a notably similar design or make. But who's to know where whoever may have owned each of these acquired either of them.
Well, I suppose we should probably get going.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your wisdom and your teachings.
Thank the runes, mostly. Or my old age. I feel you You may get here one day, young one. Perhaps not in a mountain cave by yourself, though.
Perhaps. As you say, there's many paths to tread, yes?
Hmm.
We'll try to visit if we come back this way.
For the road, and I'll give her a small satchel of tea and then some like ointment that would help with like simple healing.
Okay.
Thank you again for the insight.
Hmm.
I agree with you, although I am skeptical as to the method. So, on my part, meaning, not yours. Your part was great. We had tarot readers in Restalios. They were not nearly as good.
Hmm. Most of that is stage foolery. From my experience.
If we come back this way, we'll try to bring our mysterious friend, providing we can find him.
I would be very curious to meet him.
You guys head out?
Yeah.
Okay. As you make your way to the front and start down, she catches your shoulder eclipse. Waits for others to pass by a few feet.
You are very strong. But perhaps the greatest strength is the strength to be weak.
Think about it. The person you saw was my dad. They took him.
If I see them come back this way, I'll sure give them a wallop.
I'd appreciate it. Be careful.
They should be careful.
I agree.
Keep them safe.
I'm gonna do my best.
I feel like she's like a level 20 druid, y'all.
Yeah, no kidding.
She just shape changes into
I
a
feel like
fucking
she
dragon
can handle
or something.
herself just fine.
This guy scared me.
Well, we are at least 2 days behind, so anyone up for a race?
I kind of do my little hunch down.
Hmm.
We're 1-1 right now, Yasnip.
Well,
Yes, Nip. Clarity's okay.
good.
I'm already like jogging up the hill to catch
Do you have
up.
any other? You're running?
I'm jogging.
to catch up.
2-1.
but,
I beat
like,
you in the canoes too.
Well, you won't win this one. I'm sure of it. First one over the next pass.
Yeah.
You're on.
And as you all start running, we will end the session there.
And I am manifesting power as I do so.
Oh,
Thank you.
All right. We'll pick up there next week. Good session, y'all.
Emotional damage. We can't
There's
use that
a lot
episode
on
title. We
this
already used one.
Yeah.
Favorite moments?
The
The runes.
Yeah, Shoshana was good.
Yeah, that was cool.
really good.
Everything that she said. I was just like, man, that was so
I was like
introspective.
rapidly typing,
Whoa!
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Oh, we can play it back. It's fine." Very nice.
I do genuinely think that there was more of a fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was more. It's kind of with the idea of like having lost something and then cherishing something that you still have.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that really hit with this one. And it was even, I think the one that really kind of set it off was when we were like, oh, well, Eowyn is the survival one. Like, he's the tracker. And then having to navigate around that and then having it brought up, it just accentuated that even more. I think I liked the fact that the coming together was a lot more natural.
Yeah.
Like
I
when you
agree.
lose something, you hold on to what you have tighter.
Yeah, and I think Brightwing has always kind of been following you guys. So the fact that she took it upon herself to lead kind of for the first time, stepping into something is new for her. Something she's always been able to do. Tracking is something she's very good at. But she's always kind of taken a second fiddle to the skills that Eowyn has had. So.
I very much agree with the fusion take. I also really appreciated and enjoyed the watch moments that people took, or the moments of solitude that people took. Often you can get like some nice things out of two-person watches because they'll have a little conversation. It's like super not important but good RP. And I feel like none of you watched with anyone else, but all had something really like important and well played and poignant. So that was good. And I still keep loving Eclipse more every
Yeah,
episode.
me too. I loved how she had like a one-word description for everyone, and hers was freedom. And I was like, man, that was such a good one word to describe what Eclipse has gone through.
Freedom, trust, balance, and complicated.
All right. Good stuff. We'll leave it there. Pick up next week. Possibly with a guest.
Possibly.
Possibly. We shall see. Thank you all. Adios.